What's up, everyone? It's the Swinging Bull here, joined by Mr. SLP, and welcome to Power Hour by PB Alerts. We do this every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we go over some of the things that's been happening throughout the week, some of the favorite stocks that we alerted this week, and looking forward to taking a deep dive into the market this week. SPY's actually up right now. If you're looking at my screen, it's up 0.67%. Looking to see if there might be somewhat of a sell-off leading to the closing bell at 4. Of course, SPY options can trade until 4:15 p.m. Eastern. I personally, before I started this stream, I picked up some $360 strike price puts for June 21st expiration, which is Tuesday. I do not plan on holding these over the weekend, so I'm just waiting for maybe a leg down on SPY here before close to take profit on these puts. If we do break this 369 level, I will be stopping out of those puts. Again, risk management is key. I'm not just going to hold it and hope and pray. Either the play works out or it doesn't, and we have a plan in place to protect our capital. So let's see what SPY looks like. It's some buyers are kind of stepping in right here. It's about 3:02 p.m. Eastern, and we are live on YouTube right now. If anyone's listening in on the Discord, feel free to type any questions in the free live stream chat, the channel right above us, and we'll get to your questions right away. And also anyone listening on YouTube, feel free to post any questions on YouTube, and I'll definitely get right to that. So how do you feel about the market this week, Lee? Let me pull up a longer time frame chart here on the SPY and look at the past couple of days here.
Yeah, let's bring that up. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I mean, basically been trending down all week, right?
Yeah, we have. Well, I mean, to be honest, if you look at the bigger time frame, we kind of flattened out that day before the Fed meeting, and then we had that big choppiness, as you see right there to the left. Well, to the right, the way to the right, down on that little spike towards the upside right there. Keep going.
Yeah, right here.
Wednesday, right there. So that's when we had the Fed meeting. They released the minutes, and then they said we're going to get a hike of 0.75. So we had some choppiness, but it was mostly to the upside, right? The market digested it pretty well there. But overnight, I mean, even after hours, it was pushing, and then overnight we gapped down again. And then our selling continued, right? Yesterday our selling continued big time. I mean, we came down to 364 yesterday, and then today we actually hit, I think, 362. So we came a little bit lower today. But I feel like we're getting to a level, like a normal level now again for SPY, because we're on that hyper move, right? We were going up and up and up and up and up. And I think we come down to a healthy level now where it should be. And I think that we may see some green days ahead of us. I'm not going to say all next week's going to be green, but I feel like we're not going to see too much more downside. That's, in my opinion, that's how I feel. And I feel like the bottom could be around, that 362, 360. And then we should start, I feel like we should start consolidating in that area.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can even draw a Fibonacci extension. Let me do it for this high here. We can draw that high down to this low.
We got some extreme gaps to fill to the upside now too.
Yeah, we do. But I think this 360 level that we're kind of at right now, as you can see from my Fibonacci extension I just drew out, this is a very important level, folks. If we can't hold this lower 360 level, as you can see from the Fibonacci I drew out, we could be headed to the 350s, which is this next level here. That would be some scary stuff there. As far as the market in general continuing to fall here, hopefully a lot of this stuff is priced in already, and maybe this is the bottom. But, of course, we can't tell the future, and, we can't control the markets, especially with outside events happening, like, God forbid if we get another war breaks out, or maybe China invades Taiwan or something. I mean, who knows? We just don't know, and that's definitely not going to be healthy for us this year, because we've been struggling this year.
Yeah.
All the stuff going on in the world, and markets trying to digest all this information, and I think sometimes things do get priced in, and then maybe they weren't priced in enough. And
well, I mean, typically, Bull. I mean, when you see fear on top of fear on top of fear on top of fear, where it gets to the point where the new retailer traders want to trade anymore, that's when things start to turn around. It's like it's beating all the retailers up. We're like we're out of we're out of funk. We don't know what to do. We're all panicking. We think that the bottom, it could go lower. It's going to go lower, and then just like that, when everyone's just psyched out, that's when it starts to. That's when they start to turn that thing around again. And I don't see much more downside. This is personally from my opinion. I don't see much more downside. Then maybe another 10 points or so would probably be the max downside here. They're going to try to tackle inflation. They're going to do whatever they need to do, they said. Of course, it's going to take a hit on the market short term. But I'm looking at the future. I'm looking at 6 months down the road, a year down the road. There's so much opportunity for all the retail traders to start building these positions in. It's a shame that people are now leaving the market when it's going to start getting good. So I'm still excited. I'm still excited, bud.
That's good. That's good. I mean, there's a reason to be excited, because when we hit the levels that we're hitting now, I mean, there's just so many great deals out there right now, and kind of what you were saying, some of the retail traders that are kind of getting beat down right now, and unfortunately, some of them ultimately end up just giving up on it. And like you were saying before, it's kind of ironic that it happens that way, because right when retail traders tend to give up, that's kind of when big money and hedge funds tend to reverse the market. Then it's almost like they're wanting to bleed the retail trader out, get it down to such low levels, and then of course the big money has enough cash to kind of come in and buy all the cheap shares for different companies and stuff like that. But just something to keep your eye on, that when there is a lot
of, right on the, I mean, right there you got a great fib extension right there, and it is like it's holding up that level like you say. And there are the levels that could possibly see more downside. But I feel like we're going to see a little bit of a move to the upside. We may continue downtrending because that's what we've been doing all this time. We're getting these spikes along the way, but we're actually downtrending since the top. We're getting little spikes and then we're bringing a new low in. So until we see that change, then I'd be more optimistic long term with SPY again. Maybe by some leaps, down the road. But right now, we're just going to play what the market gives us. And that's all these pops, like a few red days, big red days, and then you get 1 or 2 big pop days on the green side. So we got to play both sides like that. Until we see it show us otherwise, to go long on a lot. I'm excited about some leaps on SPY, on QQQ. I mean, QQQ on the weekly chart, we're coming down to the 200 SMA, and it's never really dropped below that since 2008 when we had that huge meltdown. It's the only time that's been below the SMA 200 day on the weekly. You got EMAs up there.
It might be a little bit
on the EMA.
Yeah, I mean, let me just do this. So I'll change it to the MA, take the EMA out. So here we are right here.
Bam. So if you zoom out of this, and you look where it's touched or come close.
Oh yeah, look at that right here.
It's never really dropped, or it's never really touched the 200.
The closest we got to it was back in 2020, right when
and
COVID.
Then before that, 2018, I think. And then before that, it dipped below the 200, but that was 2008 when we had a huge meltdown. when we were letting 18-year-old people borrow kids borrow millions of dollars, and there was no buy a house. I live with my grandma, let me buy a house for $1 million, and they just approve anyone. So we had a huge meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, during that time, I personally had some friends, and this was obviously a long time ago. I mean, I'm talking about kids under 25 years old, and these mortgage companies. One of my buddies at the time, he was like 23, 24. He had like 5 investment properties that the banks just kept giving him mortgages. He ended up having to walk away from those deals. Obviously, because when we did have that crash and all the foreclosures hit, those 5 properties that he had, I mean, he was so underwater on those things, and there was just no chance on those values coming back.
No doubt, of course, man.
So yeah, that's interesting though. But that was funny not funny. It was bad with all these mortgage companies just handing out mortgages to kids.
They were like, you're showing up with your grandma, and they were like, okay, well, you live with your grandma and you work, you got.
Hey, I just got my SPY puts just filled for quite a bit of profit here. If you're looking at my screen, nice. My average was 115, and you can see the order right here just went through.
Getting a little dumperoo here.
Yep. So I probably could have got more out of it, but I went ahead. I knew we were doing this stream, so I did an OCO order. One cancels the other, and I had my stop loss at 99 cents. My average was 115, and I put my take profit at 130. So I was able to do my stop loss and my take profit on the same order. And then boom, my profit order just filled for about 15% or 10%, a little over 10% profit. That's how you do it, folks. Boom, right there, traded live. But yeah, Lee, look at this sell-off here. Look at this. Let me put VWAP back on. I bet it went right through it. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see that.
VWAP. It went right through it. So, the next level. Let's see if Pivot Point has anything for us. All right, I just turned on Pivot Point, which is good. Sometimes it doesn't work on the 1 minute. Sometimes the pivot points will be very far apart. But when we have a day where it's kind of trading in a range, the pivot points can be very accurate. So the next level on this pivot point here looks like it's 365.45. So we're trading at 365.75 right now. We're going to be keeping our eye on this pivot point line at 365.48. If it breaks below there, that's going to be end of the pivot point plots. And then after that, we can look for some support levels, which looks like this next one's going to be about 365. So interesting levels that we're looking at here on the SPY as it's selling off. And wasn't today like a triple witching day where
it was
3 different categories of
the futures.
The futures, the options. There's like 3 expiration dates all hitting at once today. And usually, days like that we had today, you could just see this whipsaw action.
There's going to be a lot of volatility. And the beginning of the day, we had Webull crashing, we had Robinhood crashing, we had all the platforms. I don't know if the witches were taking over and just screwing it all up for us. But they were even trending. Webull was trending on Twitter because everyone had problems with Webull.
Everyone was
and the options, like the bid was higher than the ask, and it got stuck for a while. So
that's a bad glitch there.
Very bad glitch.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had some QQQ calls, right, and they didn't update on my platform until like a few hours ago. And luckily enough, I was in good profit still.
Man,
it could have been a disaster.
Yeah, can you imagine the people that might have got trapped when that glitch happened? And as soon as the glitch was fixed, and then everything updates, you could be down at that point.
I mean, lucky enough, we saw a newer high in QQQ, so I made some good money. But imagine if it decided to dump off in the morning, and I had no way to sell. I would have been stuck.
That's not a great.
But QQQ looks better than SPY today, for sure. It does.
I think so.
And it's been beaten down the most.
Let's do a side by side with QQQ and the SPY. Let me go to my 2 chart setup here. Go ahead and click OK there, and we got QQQ at the top. Let me just unclick the symbol thing here, and we'll put SPY on the bottom here, and let's put them both on the 1 minute so we can get a daily view here. So the top, we got QQQ right here. Come on, let's do it. There we go.
I mean, it's holding VWAP a little bit better, right, than SPY. SPY's
Yeah.
below the VWAP there.
Yeah, here we go here. Yeah, SPY's below the VWAP. QQQ's still above it. And we know the VWAP's the volume weighted average price. So yeah, I mean, when we compare the two, QQQ does seem to be holding up a little.
I mean, tech stocks have been destroyed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, let's pull up what's the name of tech stock off the top of your head, and I'll pull it up. How about?
I mean, you can call Apple. You can look at Apple. Yeah. You can look at Microsoft. Microsoft got beaten real bad. If you look at the bigger time frames, they got heavily beat this week.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I had this red resistance line from before at 149, and yeah, about a week ago, it tried to reclaim that line I had drawn and got rejected. And here we are. I mean, who would have ever thought that Apple would see the 120s again, which it did yesterday? You know, I mean, Apple's a strong company. You know, they're not going nowhere.
No, yeah. They're not going anywhere. But you know, like when things get a bit tighter for the average person, you know, bills get a bit higher, and you know, people don't want to spend that extra money on buying technology from Apple or buying. Like, I think James was even saying this the other day, like buying the new phone. You know, they're worried about what they're going to eat that next day or that same day because things are so expensive.
Yeah.
So I understand why, you know, a stock like this is getting a little bit beaten up recently over like, you know, like a Walmart or a Target or something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we all know what happened with Walmart and Target with the supply chain issues when they put their guidance
Walmart
out.
was down. I think Walmart was down today. I actually like this level, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're retesting this level over here from last month, about 1 month ago. And that was after the big gap down and sell off when they put their guidance out at last earnings here. You can see the earnings report, you know, the data here. So earnings was released on May 17th that morning. Big gap down. Then we actually had another gap down. I think that was coupled with the CPI numbers. There was another Fed meeting that came out. And so Walmart kind of got a double whammy there between their bad guidance and some other Fed data that came out. And like you said, we hit this low over here around basically 118. We do have a bottom wick here. So it did wick down to 117.27. Buyers were able to push it back up a little bit. So this is the level that I would be watching, is after the buyers pushed it up. I'm not going to really count that wick, you know, because that could have just been exaggerated, maybe additional selling pressure from all this selling here. So yeah, great level to watch on Walmart is 118, which it's at right now. So this could be a good level to pick up some Walmart shares. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, one that I like. I'm going to look, you know, we're going to see what, maybe today is not a good day to buy a position. I think when we wake up on Tuesday.
Yeah. It's the 3-day weekend, right? So
we got a 3-day weekend, and we kind of want to confirm that, you know, if it's a double bottom, we want to confirm that before we jump into it.
I'm gonna mark this out now that we're talking about it. Let me delete all this old Walmart stuff here, and let's put a nice horizontal support line right at this 118 level, right about there. And make it a little bit darker here and a little bit brighter. Go ahead and lock that into place because we know this is the level. Darker and brighter, I love it. Hey Amy, how you doing? Yeah, Walmart seeing, you know, like Lee said, let's wait until after the 3-day weekend. Tuesday morning, we'll take another look at this, and I can even go maybe to the 1 hour chart here. And you can see we actually did test these levels yesterday. I'm sorry, 2 days ago. Started off at that level yesterday and had a nice pump on Walmart all the way up to 120, 150-ish. And then pretty much retraced 100% of the run from yesterday. But again, you know, today's the triple witching day with the futures and the options and all that stuff. So maybe this retracement was warranted, and it's a Friday. We always get selling on Friday, but Tuesday morning, which markets are closed on Monday, June 20th, but June 21st, all eyes on Walmart to see if we hold this 118. If we get a nice pop off this support line here at 118, could be possible good add for like a longer term retirement play or something like that, or maybe even just a swing play, right, Lee? I mean, we could, if it holds this 118, we might be able to get a nice little piece of a run here if we do get a bounce on Tuesday. So we'll be watching that. I already have it on. Let me make sure it's on my main watch list here. Yeah, let me put it on that one, and we'll be watching that on Tuesday. That was a good call out there, Lee, to keep our eyes on Walmart. Now let's go back to SPY. SPY did dip below the VWAP here, and that's remember I was in those 360 SPY puts. I just took profit on them, and look how quick this recovery happened. If I didn't have my take profit order in at the 130, I could have missed that because it happened so quick, right? So that's important to have your orders in, especially during power hour. Have your take profits. You can't be greedy during power hour. Set your stop loss, your take profits, and sure enough, my take profit ended up hitting, and I didn't even really have to watch the chart for that to happen.
Yeah, we're getting some strong volume here. A lot of buying coming in at the end of the day, and it's like we say every week. The most volatile time is going to be here. It's going to be around that 3:30 to 3:45 into the end of the day. So it did pick up a lot of volume here, and just majority of the stocks just came in with a lot of volume. I hate 3-day weekends, guys. I mean, I love to trade with all you guys 5 days a week.
Well, we can trade crypto with Amy.
We're gonna have to leverage trade.
Then we can trade 24 hours, 7 days a week. Let's go. I know I might have just asked for a bit much there for myself, but I don't know. Yeah, and
I feel like we may get I mean, I'm being optimistic again, right? But I think we may this weekend we may get some good moves on the crypto side, just because you got 3 days, and normally people want to trade something, right? So I feel like the crypto will get some love there.
Amy or Lee, if you're looking at my screen, look at this. I got the Bitcoin chart pulled up at the top. I drew this Fibonacci quite a while ago. It literally hit my 78% line. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. I love when the fibs line up with the price action. Oh my God. Look at that. So if we get a push from here, this is Bitcoin. So if we get a push from here, I mean, I know there's probably some levels in between these fibs, like probably a level right here around 22,000, 22,700. So we'll look for a retest of that level. I can go ahead and put a level here. Let me make it a different color. Go green on that. Make it a little brighter there. So if Bitcoin can hold this 20,000 level here, we'll be looking for a break of around 22,000, and then maybe back up to this 25,000 level. So good stuff there with the price action and the fibs I drew a long time ago on this. Seems to be holding up pretty well there. Let's go back to I wanted to talk about the cruise lines again, because for the what was it since Wednesday. No, that's okay. So on Wednesday, we did have a gap down on the cruise line, and that was due to recession fears. Okay. So there were some recession fears. Some investors sold a lot of their positions, and we had the gap down on the cruise lines. Yesterday, we hit a low of 870, and here we are. Nice run today. And this is the 1 hour chart. And price action, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, nice 5 green 1 hour bars, candles in a row here. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the cruise lines as far as the recovery from yesterday. I personally, in one of my other,
Norwegian's up 10% today. I mean, if you grabbed it, if you came into the premium section, I did put the alert out in my channel saying I was grabbing a position in both of them. yesterday, and if I can go back and I can check, there's so many things happened since then.
Yeah.
But we added, so we added Norwegian at 10.75. We added Carnival at 8.90. So we did add some good prices there. I mean,
those are good ads.
I think that Carnival's at like 9.50 now. So I mean, even if you held them overnight and you don't want to play it long term, maybe you're someone that's a short term trader, like swing trader. You got yourself like a good 6-7% overnight on those trades. So to be honest, that is great in this kind of environment at the moment.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, we can even go to Norwegian here. Go to the daily. Oh, look, I got this channel plotted out from before. So what we're looking for is for the price to get back into this channel, and then hopefully maybe test the upper line of this channel, which would be you're going to double your money if that does happen. Obviously we can't predict the future. The best we can do is use technical analysis and supply and demand zones and look at where the buying and selling is occurring, and then plot out our technical analysis lines and things of that nature. But what an amazing play this is going to be. I mean, it's already a great play because we picked it up on the low, and like you said, we're already in the profit on those alerts that we alerted in the section.
Yeah, I mean, if you can open up your mind and you can think about the long-term picture in this stock, this like Carnival Cruise Line was. Just close your eyes and you think Carnival Cruise Line. What price was it when COVID hit? Right, COVID hit. They couldn't even bring income. They couldn't bring income anymore because they had to close their business down for a while.
Right.
They're at $7.80. We came down to like $8.60 yesterday. They're making a lot more money. They're like fully operational again.
Yeah.
And how do you not just try to build a position there and hold long term? Think about a year down the road, or 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road.
Yeah, and another thing, Lee, I don't mean to interrupt, but another some news that dropped today for Carnival Cruise Line is they partnered up with MGM to be able to do sports. They're going to be able to do sports betting on the cruise ship.
No way.
Awesome
that's nice. That's really nice, man.
Oh man, like that's going to bring.
That's a good company
revenue.
too. Yeah, MGM.
Right.
Yeah.
Tag man in our Discord. I'll just repeat it for the YouTube recording. He was saying that not only did Carnival Cruise partner with MGM for sports betting on the ships, but they're also adding ships to their fleet in other territories. So I guess a couple ships were added, and they're able to kind of dip their toes into the Australian market now, which is great. I mean, they're adding ships, they're adding sports betting, and this news was beautiful to see after the news came out about the recession fears and caused this most recent dip that we fell out of this channel here because of the recession fear news. And then now we're getting a nice little run because they're adding ships, and they added sports betting. So
actually, you know what? I did some little digging real quick. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I went to do a little bit of research on the like fundamental side, and actually Carnival is more attractive than Norwegian, like assets and liability and income and cash position. Actually, Carnival is more attractive. They both have debt. They both have a bunch of debt that they have to get under control.
Yeah.
But their revenue is increasing, and Carnival's better off at this time than Norwegian. It's pretty. I know it sounds kind of crazy, because Norwegian actually, for me, is a better cruise line. Yeah. But Carnival's the one that's actually doing better fundamentally. So
I think Carnival gets more business per se.
Better deals.
Like maybe they have more revenue because I think they have more ships than Norwegian. But again, the more ships means the more overhead, and they might have more bills to pay than Norwegian as well. So it can kind of go hand in hand there. What's another one? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Amazon. I actually picked up some Amazon shares today. I specifically waited until today because as you can see, here we go. Last week, if you would have bought up here in the 120s, you're going to be down quite a bit. So I wanted to basically wait for a retest of this 104, 105 area. And that's what happened this week. So when that happened this week, I was like, okay, on Friday, I'm going to pick up a couple shares. And this is going into my Vanguard retirement account that I don't day trade with that account. Maybe I'll check it every couple of days or something like that, just kind of see what's going on. But my Vanguard retirement account is I don't want to say set it and forget it, but that's where my positions are that are gonna, I'm gonna be holding for several years and collecting dividends along the way. That's also some passive income there. So that's what I like about my Vanguard account. So I added some Amazon shares to my Vanguard account about an hour ago. I think I got a.
And we played the overnight lotto play with Amazon calls. I put that out last night, and nice. We got it was like 150% overnight.
Yeah,
so we made some big money. Yeah, around that bottom right there, 102 and change. Yeah. We played some calls overnight, hit the jackpot. We got ourselves 150% plus. And I took that to the bank, and that's why I didn't trade so much today, man. I mean, a lot of our members are banking on these plays where we don't need to go forcing any trade. We're taking profits when people are trying to find them. So, on a day like Friday, we just took the profits, enjoyed them, and kind of sat back a little bit today.
Yeah, and sometimes we need a break. It's okay to take a break. And when we do have days where we decide in the morning, maybe we had a great day yesterday and made some great profits. And, say it was a Thursday, we made some great profits. And then Friday, and even, of course, today we had triple witching, and it's Friday, known to be a selling day, and still a lot of uncertainty. You could just take today, go over some more education, maybe try and learn a little bit more about your favorite indicators. It would be a good day to maybe go back to your trades that you did from Monday to Thursday, and maybe go over those plays with the fine-tooth comb, with the charts pulled up, figure out how we could have made those plays better. Maybe we could have managed the position a little better. Maybe we put in a little bit more than we should have. And we can always go back and check our previous plays and look for room for improvement. And that's how we're going to get to be better traders moving forward, is we have to be able to do the due diligence on ourselves. We have to do DD on ourselves. Okay, how could I have made this better? And the more times you kind of put yourself in check and double check your own plays, the better you're going to be when you enter new plays. You're going to be just more, you're just going to be a better trader overall. So we can't forget that we need to hold ourselves accountable, and it really does wonders for future trading.
Yeah, absolutely. Debo, man, glad that you grabbed Debo grabbed both of the CCL and Norwegian yesterday. Got an easy 4 to 5% profit there. So yeah, that's great to go into the weekend on that high, right?
Yeah, Debo, he's one of our premium members. Took advantage of some premium alerts that were alerted on the cruise lines when we had that dip, and he made some pretty good profit. A great way to end the week there, Debo. That's fantastic. I love seeing stuff like that. That way, we end the weekend on a high note, and we can actually enjoy the weekend now with our family and our friends, and maybe take a mental health break. If you get a little impatient, well, we can come to the crypto side and we can trade some crypto, if you get bored or something. But, don't forget to double check, your previous trades and see how you can improve and that kind of stuff. But yeah, amazing play with that Amazon call that was alerted in the premium section, hit for 150% profit. And then, of course, we got some premium members that took advantage of our cruise line alerts when we hit that bottom yesterday. Great overnight profit. Didn't even have to hold longer than 24 hours, really.
Yeah, and that also goes off of like where I've said last time in the streams before. It's like if you time, you don't have to just be bored and just find trades and just because you're bored, and most of them won't work out because you're not focused. Like I put that post that you got to be focused. You can't just trade because you're bored.
Right. That's when you
And
get
for
yourself into
me,
trouble.
get yourself into trouble, right? And for me, it's like I say, there's always one day out of the week that sets up for the next day perfectly. So you got to just focus, find a day where there's more volume coming in more to the upside, grabbing positions on early in those days, and just ride those days up with profit. And get out and do the same every week. You don't have to play or trade. I say play because at that point, if you're trying to do it every day, it's like you're just playing, like you're gambling. But if you want to trade, you don't have to trade every day.
No. And if you do, you don't have to trade 10 alerts in one day.
Yeah.
Maybe just like one, pick one or two of your favorite. This is when the alert comes out. I know some of the alerts kind of hit targets quickly if they're day trades or whatever. But if you missed it, then don't let it stress you out. There's going to be 100 more alerts that come out. But maybe out of 5-6 alerts, maybe pick one or two of the ones you really really like, and then trade those, and you'll find yourself being less stressed out. Emotions don't tend to take over because you're in 10 different plays at once. So try not to spread yourself too thin. Is basically what I'm saying. Me personally, I mean. I'm really only trading a couple alerts a day. I'm not going overboard, and I'm picking out the ones that I like a lot, and then we can focus on managing those plays a lot better than if you're trying to manage 10 plays at once. Because then things are going to slip through the cracks, and you're just not going to be able to keep up with it. So just be careful, everyone, how many plays you're in at one time.
So that SPY worked out. What's SPY doing now? SPY is kind of just going, it's just sideways.
Yeah,
and it's a good sideways. We're not selling off. So
yeah. I mean, this sell-off that we had about 20 minutes ago, it was started right around 3:10 p.m. Eastern. That might have been the last sell-off of the day potentially. Then again, it is power hour on a Friday, so this thing could rip, sell off again if it wants to, or it could rip higher. Personally, I wouldn't mind if it just trades sideways for the rest of the day, and maybe we can hold some ground here going into extended hours, and then the 3-day weekend, and see what pre-market does on Tuesday when we close tonight at extended hour tradings at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's tomorrow's going to be I'm excited for Tuesday because I want to see how the market does react to the 3-day weekend, and also a little bit like even, I mean, we could go to like the 15-minute chart on this. It's kind of similar on the 15-minute chart. Carnival Cruise Line kind of forming a cup a little bit better, but that's based off of the MGM sports betting news, I think. There. Yeah, but I mean, Tagman, even on the 15-minute chart on June 16th, it's the same. They did the same thing. They both Carnival gap down. So did the SPY. Specifically. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think it's travel, right? I think that all the travel stocks. I mean, you have Delta. I feel Delta. If you're looking at some airlines to go long on, I feel Delta is one of them. United is another one. I like JetBlue where it's at because it was pretty much down to COVID level. So there's a few there that I like long term.
JetBlue had a good day today. They were up 5%. United Airlines also 4.5%. Delta up 2.5. Yeah, they're kind of all following each other in a way. The charts are looking pretty similar. So,
well, they say, because of inflation problems, gas problems, things like that, they say that we're going to have a strong summer still. The travel's going to have a strong summer. But because of all the fear in the market, the stock prices aren't showing that exactly right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's Bowen? Bowen's a
Yeah.
nice one, man. Bowen's been like, it's been on a non-stop tear since it hit that 113. Bowen.
Yeah. BA. Oh, wow. Look at
Yeah,
that. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Hit that bottom of 113 back on June 14th, which was Tuesday. Hit this bottom of 113 and pretty much been on a tear ever since. I mean, we hit 137 there. So 113 to 137. I mean, that's a 20% run thereabouts. And just the
insane,
last,
right? 4 days.
yeah, 4 trading sessions, we got Bowen running about 20% combined. That would have been a fantastic swing there. Let's look at the bigger time frame of Boeing. Yeah,
There's
Boeing.
some space. There's some space to go, and I like Boeing. Yeah, because you got to see, look to all the way to the left by COVID. It's holding a pretty good support now. After the crash, I'm saying it's holding a
right
good
here.
level. Yeah, a good level.
Right
It's
here.
holding. You just got to, guys, got to stick a little bit of some trend lines on the chart and do a little bit of analysis, and it can go a long way when entering into a play, especially going out to the daily and the weekly time frame. That could also help on your swings. So
absolutely, yeah. This was a great level for Boeing. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Lee. I mean, this was great support.
Amy
here
loves
after
this.
COVID.
Amy loves this, and calls have been, the calls have been great on Bowen.
Yeah, look at that.
Yes.
Four green days in a row for Boeing. That's fantastic. Great support for a nice play there if you caught it. 100%.
They have a lot of contracts, right? So I mean, the airline companies could be trending down, but Boeing could be trending up because they have a lot of different contracts. They have a lot of backlog. They have a lot of backlog on their different planes and stuff that they have deals going on with. So there's always like income coming in that's backlogged. So they always got some good revenue, and especially at this level is just, I think it's a great area to buy and to start position in the 113s, 114s, and that's where we alerted. I think Amy alerted a couple of days ago. So.
Yeah, I like Boeing. This would be a good one to do an extension on here with the fibs. Let me lock that into place. So we're plotting the previous high, the previous low to the most recent previous high, and we got some levels we can look at here on the daily. And sure enough, look, that 113 level we just got done talking about from the support from right after COVID here. Look at the fib, just plot that out beautifully at this 113 here, which was the 38% level, and total bounce off that level.
People are going to be using this extension now. They've seen you do it, and they're like, man, I'm going to go home. If they're out and about, they're going to go home and just say, hey, I'm canceling my plans. I want to learn this. This is what I want to do.
It's beautiful. And we have a lot of other,
indicators,
trading strategies and indicators that we use with the fibs. I'm not just trading solely off the fibs. Fibs is just giving me an idea of the levels that we need to be looking for here. But yeah, great run by Boeing. That was amazing. I like that. Yeah. Oil kind of took a hit today. Actually they've been trending down for kind of maybe like this whole week. They kind of trended down because we ended last week on a high with the oil companies, and for some reason, let's see here. Okay, so actually the sell-off started basically on the 9th, which was last Thursday. So starting last Thursday, it's been trending down. We can go ahead and mark out some lines here for downtrend line. Make this a little bit brighter, lock that into place. So ideally what we want to see with Chevron, I got CVX pulled up here. Looks like it bounced today. Okay, so we've been selling off since last Thursday, formed this downtrend, and finally today, out of all days, Friday, we get maybe the bounce we're looking for here. And I would be looking for a break to the upside of this downtrend for oil to continue trending up, which I know there's a lot of people that still think there's a lot more room for oil to run. But I think that also has a lot to do with gas prices being $5 a gallon, $5, $6, $7, especially on the West Coast. I think they're seeing $6, $7 a gallon right now. So I think that has a lot to do with why people think oil is going to continue to run. Me personally, if it doesn't reclaim this trend line to the upside, I think oil maybe continues to fall.
Yeah,
who knows?
I agree with you.
We just have to watch the trend line. It's we'll keep it simple. Try not to overcomplicate things. If we don't reclaim this trend line, well, oil is going to continue to sell off to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of oil like companies just getting rich off this this problem and the prices of oil per barrel. I think there's a lot of companies getting rich, and they're not drilling. Maybe they're just pulling back their supply, and that's and they like to do that, right? They like to have that control. So I feel like they're going to hit them with some legislation soon, probably, that forces them to do something, and that's where I think oil will start to drop. And,
well,
I feel like that's probably what started to happen already.
Yeah, no, and exactly what you just said, because what happens when oil companies pull back on the supply? Well, when the supply goes down, the prices are going to go up. So and there's some conspiracy theorists out there, maybe saying that oil companies might be decreasing their own supplies on purpose to be able to charge more for the gas. And we see it on the news and social media and stuff that just what you said, that are oil companies like really ripping us off right now? And I think that's going to lead into what you were just saying, that they might be facing some legislation in the future to maybe make sure.
I think they signed something today. If I read correctly, man, I think they were signing something today that would boost the supply of oil to try to bring down that price. But I saw it like in one of the news channels like Yahoo or something. I was browsing through it today, and I think that we took a big hit today. Exxon come down, and you can see Exxon spent their money, right? So their revenue increased. They spent their money on buying back their shares. That's what they did.
The buybacks. Yep.
Yeah, so they've been buying back their shares with their money. They're not worried about the pulling out more supply or whatever. They're all they care about is buying back their shares for cheap or whatever it is, and then and just let the demand go higher, let the prices go higher, and it banks in their back pocket. So like I say, if they do some kind of legislation, that will probably bring down that oil price, and you probably see Exxon continue to fall. I mean, they've been on a hell of a run. I mean, I feel like it's time for a pullback. It's time to short these babies all the way back down to where they belong.
Yeah, look at this. This was like several months ago when we were probably day trading it. But we do have a question coming through on YouTube from Mark Sims. Appreciate you joining us. Welcome. His question is, where do you fellas check a stock's float? Okay, so great question there. If you're using Webull, you're going to go to this key statistics area. And then once you have the key statistics pulled up, you can see the free float right here, 4.21 billion. Of course, this is ExxonMobil, so it's a huge float there. I could probably pull up something a little bit smaller.
You can also look on finviz.com. Yeah, you can look on
let me go there right now. Let me go there right now. So Mark, you basically save this on your address book here for your websites, but basically just go to finviz.com. Okay, looking at my screen here, and we probably just go to the home. Let's get rid of some of these ads here. And then what we can do is just search the ticker name. So we can go, let's just type in Apple. We go there. And then just go to the home page on Finviz, finviz.com. And right in this search bar, you're going to type the ticker symbol. It's going to pull up the chart. And then right here, all of this information here, this is where you're going to get your financial information. Okay, so we got the float right here. Okay, so they have a 16.7 billion float. You can see what percent of the float is short. Okay, so for Apple, there's really not a lot of people shorting it because it's only 0.7% of the float is being shorted. So I hope that answers your question. Just a quick and easy website. You can bookmark the website on your browser, and call it whatever you want. You can just call it FinViz, financial data or whatever, and then just come here, type in the ticker, and this is where you're going to get all your float information and short float information. And I always get a lot of good data from FinViz. So I hope that answered your question there. Let's look at the heat map here. Okay, it's about 3:50 p.m. We got the closing bell in about 10 minutes. So if you have any options you're looking to close out, you might want to consider closing them out if you don't want to hold it over the weekend. If it's a SPY option, of course, you have until 4:15 p.m. Eastern to close those out. But yeah, looking at the heat map, we obviously we're more green today than red, and S&P is trying to hold its gains. Let me go back to the SPY. S&P is trying to hold on to the little bit of gains. I mean, S&P, the SPY was actually up almost 1% earlier today when it hit this 369 area. And then again, right here at around 2:40 p.m., it hit 369. It was up about 1%. I think it was like 0.8%. But as you can see, we're only up 0.3%. So we're going to try and hopefully close green today. If we look at the daily chart, let me just get rid of some of these drawings here. Delete. It would be nice to end the day green so we can stop this bleeding that we've had. Over the past week. Like, let's go ahead and put an end to this bleeding by closing green today. And then if we get a green day on Tuesday, I'm gonna be pretty confident that maybe this we're gonna hold 360 from now. For now. Now, ultimately, if we do get a little relief rally, which confirms that we're holding the 360 area, maybe we get a little relief rally. But if we do end up hitting our head on some resistance, the next level to test, me and you were talking about that earlier, Lee, would probably be around the 350 range. So we'll see if that happens or not.
We're in the free section. So I put out a swing alert today. Well, Amy put one out and I put one out, also a day trade that hit target. So always, if you're new to our Discord, we do all the time, we're doing alerts. I mean, we do some free options sometimes. I just want to say that I put a swing alert out for SeaWorld. And SeaWorld was at 41.70 was our buying. The first target was 43, second target 44. We're already smashed the first target.
Oh, wow, look at that.
We're coming up to the second target on SeaWorld. So we had a nice big push for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it started pushing right around 1:50 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, so we got pushed there. So I do like this one. If you guys took that play, I do like it. Maybe a little bit longer. If we continue to get a push next week, if we're optimistic about that, then I think we can get to that second target. If not today, we can get to it probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. But I do like where it's sitting, and that's why I started at a position 15% today. And if you want to build it long term and you like it long term, like Disney as well, you can build like 4 buys. You can buy 15%, start a position, and then from there just build your position slowly if you like it long term. But that one hit first target today. If anyone took that, congrats, man.
If you scooped it up in the low 40s, I mean, you're up 8%, almost going to be going on 10% maybe. We do have another question on YouTube here. Mark wants to know what we would consider a low float. Great question. For me personally, a low float is going to be anything under 20 million. Anything under 20 million. If the float's under 20 million, I would consider that a low float. Okay. And you want to be careful with the low floats. They can be very volatile and they could have big price swings in either direction, because if enough volume comes in, let's say the float is 10 million and this particular underlying stock ends up having volume for the day of like 40-50 million, which is going to be 4 or 5 times the float. That's where you're going to see a lot of volatility, a lot of huge swings, because the volume is just so much bigger than the float. But I hope that answers your question. Anything below 20 million float, I would consider a low float, and just be careful of the volatility if you're playing those stocks.
Yeah, because the smallest volume can move those huge to the upside or downside. They can dump off pretty easily, but like Redbox is like 1 million float. They're like ultra low floats. But anything under 20, man, under 20 is healthy as a low float.
Yeah, look at Redbox. It's
and
only
then you can go check out
million.
Yeah, Redbox.
Yeah, Redbox is only 1.95 million. Super tiny.
That's why there's so much volatility in this stock.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you coming to chat with me. Yeah, I got to go to another studio and for a crypto weekend watch list.
Another studio.
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate everyone joining us.
This way, which way? Which studio?
I got to go to the door down the hallway to the left. But I appreciate everyone joining us. This is The Swinging Bull with Mr. SLP. This is Power Hour Fridays. We do this every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. There is a link in the YouTube description if you're watching on YouTube and you're interested in joining our free Discord, where we give out a lot of free information and free alerts there. So make sure to check us out there. And other than that, I hope Lee, you got anything to add?
No, man. It's been a great Friday, guys. So enjoy your profits, and we come back strong again on Tuesday, right? So have a great long weekend and get some rest.
Yeah, awesome.
Gonna need it for next week.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you guys. We'll see you guys next Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thanks.